Hey guys, 2 for 1, 2 videos, 1 day. Welcome back to another Limitless Conversation Stripped. I think this is number 5. I have dropped 5 of these in like less than a week. I am really enjoying these. Let me take a deep breath for a second. I have really been enjoying these so much because it doesn't feel like work. It really just feels like authentically Sean, like authentically this is me. I remember seeing this video a while ago. I wish I could remember her name, but she was on TikTok and she was saying how she's a popular TikToker. I don't think it was Aaliyah who has like Aaliyah's core. I think it was someone else. But anyway, she was saying that the reason that content creation, like the reason that people aren't either enjoying filming it, aren't having success with it, aren't enjoying people's content is because people aren't just picking up the phone and recording content no more. And that really is what content started off as. Like content creators, that's really what it started off as. And what I noticed is that I enjoy content creation so much more when I am just authentically sharing me. Like I'm not thinking about, like, that's why I know that God had me do this stripped series, because it's just like there's so many things that I think all the time. There's so much stuff I want to share. There's so many things that I theorize about that it is hard to recreate that moment sometimes when I have to put a production on. And I think that the production part of it is great for like conversations with other people, you know, that I'm having with guests and stuff. I think that that's really awesome because it's someone else's schedule. We have to schedule that time. But when it comes to just me having these spur of the moment thoughts and things, I want to just share them. And that's why I love this so much, because I'm really not doing this for nothing besides the fact that, like, this is just what's happening in my brain and I just want to get it out. Like, I just want to share it. I just want to say it. And so it's very interesting. And sometimes I don't think to do this kind of content because, like, once I say it and it's out, I'm good. Like, I'm fine. So if I'm on the phone with a friend, they might catch this vibe and y'all might not catch it, because when I say it, I'm good. I just want to share it. It could be with a friend. It could be with you guys. It could be anywhere. So anyway, she talked about just how content creation isn't as fun because people aren't just picking up the camera and talking anymore. And I've been enjoying this content so much more again. And I remember I talked about the validation, like the numbers and the seeking things. Like that has been disintegrating because I'm truly feeling more abundant because I'm just having fun creating. I'm just having fun sharing. I'm just having fun thinking thoughts and putting them out. You know what I mean? Like that's what the fun is coming from. So like low key, like the other video I just posted, I like looked and I saw I had like 3 views. I'm like, oh my God, 3 people care. I felt so happy that 3 people cared about what I was rambling about, because literally like, y'all don't listen to this shit. Nobody cares sometimes about what I gotta say. And that's just really just how I felt. Like I was just like, dang, that's so tight that even 3 people cared about what the heck I was saying, but my mind was more abundant because I wasn't creating out of a box. I was just creating just for fun, like genuinely, like when I create these stripped ones. And even my podcast, I don't want to have the podcast is not, or the more formal podcast, the production of it, because I've had some really good conversations with people on this season. You know, I've had 3 guests so far and they've all been really phenomenal to just talk to, and that kind of sparks it. But this kind of will tie into what I want to say about the fire. I'm very fiery, right? I am a fire sign, but the fireness of me is like, I just love the passion. I love the conversation. I love to be ignited. I am someone who gets very highly inspired. I'm very active in that way, right? So I remember, I don't even know if someone else said this or if this was a combination of what someone said mixed with some of my thoughts, but there are people who are, and there's a human designs term for it. There are manifestors, generators, reflectors, and I can't remember mine at the moment, I'm pretty sure it's a generator. But either way, that really helped me understand a lot about me. And that's why I love all the different things like zodiacs, human design, Christianity, all the different things. I love it because they all just show me all the layers of me, you know? So when I understood my human design, I'm like, oh, I mean, I take it, I internalize it, like, does that fit? Does that make sense? And I'm like, yeah, that tracks, because some people could just like go and like sit in a dark room. And I think this is what I heard someone else say. If you're like a manifester, I think you just sit in a dark room and things just come to you, right? That's not how I am. I could be sitting and things just come to me, but mostly I get ignited by things. Like, things spark me. You could say one word to me and it will send me on a whole tangent. Just like how y'all hear my ADHD brain when I hear like one word, I start singing a song, because I have just got sparked. I've just been ignited, and that's how I work. So which is cool, like, to understand how you work. So things just like I'm out interacting with the world, and it makes me have these sparks of just like blah, 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 blah. That's what I want to share. So I've just been enjoying this because I've just been letting the sparks come and then just sharing what was sparked and kind of what came up. And so I was telling my cousin like how I'm just in this very fiery energy today. I'm feeling real fiery. And I'm like, I love, so if you could be a fire sign or you could not be a fire sign, it doesn't really matter. Just if you identify with just the fire. And what the fire is, right? And what made me even think to film this is because God said to me, the thing about fire, the fire energy in you, is that it can do a lot of things. You can use this fire to illuminate, or fire can be used to be destructive. And I was telling my cousin, I'm like, I love when I get into this fiery energy, because and I'm learning about me in the fire energy, because the fire energy for me, it's so, I'm very blunt in these spaces. And I was telling her I want to practice wielding it, being able to really take it out when I want and put it back when I need to. I don't want it to be destructive. I don't want it to be a wildfire. I want to be able to contain it and master it. Because when I'm in my fire energy, I have made reckless decisions. I have done dumb things, right? Like, it could be something as simple as going on a shopping spree. Going on a shopping spree where you didn't put it in the budget, right? And that's going to cause you stress. I don't want my fire to cause me stress later. I don't want to, you should have been at that man's house. And now you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the fire energy can be that way. And you have to learn how to wield it. And so now, I don't know if that's even the right word, but now that's how I feel. It's like this, like how I'm seeing it in my mind and feeling it in my spirit is just like this, almost like a wind, but just this fire, and being able to just like manage it and manipulate it and use it. And that is my goal. And so I was just saying, I'm like, this fire energy, I love it because it's so blunt. It's so, I don't care. It's so straight to the point. I don't have time for, like, I feel very like that when I get into this fire energy, just like get to the chase, get to the point, and I'm not saying it, and it's because it's fiery, it can sound more aggressive, but I'm not, my intention and my heart, that's why I'm like always so big on people who know my heart, because that I'm a caring person, that I love you and I care about you, and my water side, like, that part of me. So when I'm being cut dry and blunt, it's because there's something that needs to be done quick, like, and so I was like, I want to be able to just also like go in and out, because if I'm in a fire mood but I'm talking to someone who needs a softer Sean, it's tricky. And I want to be able to just be like, let me come out of that. Let me be what, you're needing me to be in this moment. Let me be able to turn it on, turn it off. My cousin kind of joking was like, yeah, but sometimes it don't be fun. Like, you being in a fire and people trying to be serious, and you're like, oh, I gotta be serious right now. It's like, yeah, for real. It is like that. It do be like that. You're like, oh. I'm so like playful and like hearted when I'm in this kind of space. And so like, I'll say something blunt, but it's not out of me being nasty. It's really out of me just being there's just like, I don't know how to explain it, besides it's just like, I really envision it like there's times where God's just like, get this, you're spending too much time on this. And so she asked me, what kind of triggers this energy for me? She said, what makes you get into this fiery spot? And I was like, that's something I have been asking myself for a while, but I think I got some clarity on it, because I have been doing so much growing, so much healing, and so much evolving. And I'm at my heart, I am a very saggy. Like, I'm very youthful, I'm playful, I'm energetic. Like, that's my personality. And as much as it is my personality to be all deep and intense and emotional, all that kind of stuff too, we're multi-layered. And so I was telling her, I'm like, what I just realized is that I just came out of a period of a lot of evaluation, a lot of healing, and the healing can be tiring. And I even expressed this to one of my friends last week. I'm like, because we had like a little spat, and I'm like, let's do something fun. Because sometimes after you have such an intense moment and such intense healing, you want to go back to the lighter side of life. It's like, oh, let's remember what it's like to live. Let's remember what it's like to love. Let's remember what it's like to be in joy and in fun. And it's not, let me not say be in joy, because when I'm in the trenches, in those, like, not the trenches, that's a bad word. That makes it sound bad. When I'm in the emotional places and digging up roots, and I enjoy that too. I do. I really do. It's so enlightening to me. I'm fascinated by it. And as much as I'm fascinated by that, I also enjoy being on the lighter side of life. But again, it's a fire, so I have to contain it, because the fire can get impulsive. It can get reckless, because it's just looking to find the fun and the joy again. And if you don't wield it properly, you will find fun and joy. You will find fun and joy. And I'm sorry, give me 1 second, you guys. Someone just passed me. I just need to I don't know, say a quick prayer. Okay. Again, where was I? I'm sorry, you guys. I know I just spaced out for a second. Because people inspire me. Like, I just talked about this. Like, someone just walked by me and he inspired me. Just watching people be joyful, it's an inspiration. And I don't know, I just wanted to take a moment. But anyway, the fire, wielding it. Yeah, it can illuminate. It can be used to illuminate, which is when I get really blunt and honest. But again, I need people to know it's coming from my genuine, like, I love you, and like, the best way I can express it is, thank you. It's like tough love. It's actually more like tough love, and that's why I need to be able to control it, because sometimes people don't want tough love. And a lot of times I'm soft love. I'm very gentle. I'm very fluffy. I'm very fluffy. I put a lot of fluff around things, because I get that I'm like saying things that are not easy to hear. And I say things to myself that are not easy to hear. And so I get it. But when I get into these modes, I don't have as much fluff. And so I was saying, like, some of my friends, I'm like, it's almost like when I was dating somebody, and he would always ask me, like, what you doing? And I hated what you doing. Like, I hated it. Especially when I got into these kind of modes. I hated it. Because it was like, say what you're trying to say. Like, you want to come over? You want to go out? Like, say it. Like, I don't like when people try to feel me out. I hate that so much. I'm not going to say I hate it. It just irritates me for a multitude of reasons. It irritates me, one, because be vulnerable. Don't be scared to be rejected. Sure, you want to come over, say it. Either I'm gonna say yes or I'm gonna say no. Like, it's one of the two, but you don't have to, like, be nervous. And then it'd be like, and then I'm like, it's me. Like, it's me. Why are you acting like that? Like, and I know that people have fear of rejection. I get it. I have fear of rejection sometimes too, right? So I do get it. But when I'm being fiery, I'd be like, spit it out. What are you saying? Get to the point. And you have to know my heart is just in the fact that I'm as I sometimes say, I'm shaking you to be like, don't be scared to be rejected. Put yourself out there, even if it's with me. Hell, definitely with me, because you know I'm gonna be gentle and I'm gonna protect you, and I'm not gonna, my intention not to hurt you. So if you ever need to practice vulnerability, probably stay with me. Like, you know what I mean? Because you know me, you know my heart. So that's what I mean by when the fire energy comes up. It's just very like, it's the same way I would have been like, now why are you asking me all these, you know, I would have answered the questions, or I would have responded, and I would have been like, now listen, I feel like you're being a little nervous about rejection, and that's why you asked me 1,000 questions, but it's okay to just ask me. I would have said it nicely, but yeah. So I don't know, this is just my rambling thoughts about what I feel about fire energy. I was just talking about it to God, and I'm just like, I want to share because I'm just in a very fiery space. And one of the things that I'm really learning in this chapter of the fire is that, number one, it definitely does get ignited, especially because I was being hard on myself a little bit, not too bad, but a little bit I was, because no one does. No one likes when they feel like their character is ever being questioned, especially when you know your heart, right? You know your heart. I know my heart for sure, and I know my heart is very pure. I don't do things maliciously, and if I do something malicious, it's not intentional. You know what I mean? I'm not aware that I'm being malicious. So, because I'm perfect. Hence, it's Scott, we not. None of us are. So, but I'm damn near close. No, I'm joking. That's just the fire. But, but genuinely, I do want to be able to harness this energy, because this energy is a beautiful energy when it's wielded right. It's a beautiful energy for getting things started. It's a beautiful energy for being inspired. It's a beautiful energy to get to things very quickly. It is a beautiful energy to use to be radically honest, you know, and it's a beautiful energy to remind, it's almost a little egotistical, but not in a bad way. I don't think that the ego is totally bad. I think that the ego reminds you of you sometimes, a balanced ego. So what I mean is, like, I was like, dang, it was something I had said, like, dang, should I have said it better? Should I have said it differently? Like, was my intention that? Was I being this way? Was I being that way? And it was just like, God literally said to me, Sean, you know your heart, and I need you to act like it. I need you to stop questioning yourself, questioning your character. Obviously, other people are questioning me because I'm questioning me. So it's like, you know what I mean? You know your heart. Dig into your heart and know that, and stand on that. Don't let how other people interpret what you're saying, and how they internalize you and experience you to be the thing that determines how you experience you. And so that's kind of what really started that fire, because it was kind of like God shaking me and reminding me, stop bucking, acting like you don't know you and you don't know your heart. And I'm like, all right, you're right. Let me snap out of it. I'm tripping, and I know me, and so I know my intention. I check my intention before I say things, and before I navigate certain things. I try my best, obviously. I'm human, but I try my best, and I'm always giving the best that I can, doing the best that I can. So yeah, I was like, God was just like, girl, cut it out. And I'm like, all right. So that really was the thing that kind of snapped me out of it. It's kind of snapped me out of feeling like a victim, or being in the energy of victimhood and feeling bad, feeling sad. It was kind of like, girl. And that's how I kind of got into it. And also, I think, again, it's just me wanting that fun, playful, inspired energy after doing so much intense work. Like, when I say it's intense a good word to use? I mean, yeah, I don't feel any energy. Yeah, I think intense is a fine word. There's a better word, but I don't have it at this moment. So yeah, this intense work, like, I mean, I'm like revealing parts of me that I have realized recently how much I think this is what I mean by the joy of life. Okay, I'm gonna say, I have realized, like, what I've realized over the last few months, because stuff takes time to unfold, is how much like I don't remember from my childhood. And I always thought it was really weird. I thought of that for years, how weird that was, that I didn't remember certain stuff or just didn't have a lot of memories. Like, some people can remember so much. Like, my cousin, me and her was talking about experiences that we had. She's like, you remember this happened? I'm like, no. And they weren't necessarily bad experiences that I can remember, but I just don't remember them. And I'm like, that's so weird that I don't remember these things. But as I have been doing this inner child work, I am remembering certain things, and it's like, okay, now I get why I didn't remember stuff, because I was like hurting, or I got sad, or I didn't know how to deal with emotions or certain emotions when I was a kid. So because I didn't know how to deal with or navigate those emotions, I just blocked out the memories totally. It was just like, even if it was a moment, and I feel like it probably was just moments of things that may have triggered a sadness in me or triggered something in me that I just don't remember. Then I just decided I'm not remembering that anymore. And so I have been pulling up these things and like hearing me, and I'm pretty sure certain other things are going to be coming online soon, but I'll say that I'll say that for when that happens. But yeah, I've definitely been at least hearing it. I've been hearing her experience and hearing her voice. And I'm just fascinated, because I'm just like, the mind is so wild. I like the mind is so cool. The way that we cope, the way that we protect ourselves is fascinating to me. It is so cool. So even though I'm digging up these feelings, these memories, I think that it's so powerful and dope that my mind was that protective over me, that I was that protective over me, to block things out, to try to numb. Like, I think that's the coolest shit ever. I really do. So again, that's why I like do love the stuff, and I think it's so cool. And at the same time, after you've done some of that, sometimes that little child just wants to come out and play and just enjoy life. And it's about having clean fun these days, okay? Clean fun. Clean fun. Because it's like, yeah, you can go out and buy something nice because you feel good and want to treat your inner child, but don't go crazy. And like, it was 2 when I just burped as I was starting that sentence. But yeah, don't go crazy. Do it within reason. You know, let the two play together. Let that inner child come out and play and have fun, and then bring that wiser version of you in and let them play together. Don't let that kid run the show, child, because she can be wild. Hey, I heard you were a wild one. And that's what I want to talk about. That was mainly the main thing. I was going to talk about Beyonce, but I don't really. I feel like I'm probably going to maybe want to talk about that after I finish listening to the album, because, yeah, when I get to yawning, that definitely means the message is wrapped. Alright, well, I'm a wrap. So, yeah. All that to say that I've really been enjoying creating content again, which has been really nice, and I'm going to definitely pace this fire. So that's the other thing about fire, is you want to let the fire be I don't want to call it a slow burn, but you want to allow it to be a slow burn, because I used to burn really hard, really fast. And that's also something I'm learning. It's the same way, like, I would meet people and I would be so excited to meet them, and then, like, and they say it's like a fire sign thing. Like, we'll be over someone very fast. But I think it's just because that fire burns so fast. It's the same thing for projects that I like. Like, when I start a thing, I'll be so into it, and then it'll kind of just fizzle out, because it's like, oh, it's new, it's exciting, you know. But it's, again, me learning to pace the fire. Like, sometimes the fire is gonna die out. That's just what's gonna happen sometimes. That's life. But it don't have to die out so fast. So while I probably want to create a third video today, I'm not going to, because I don't want the fire. I want to pace the fire. I want to allow the burn to continue to burn and be a slow burn, versus it being this spark and then like, all right, that was fun, you know, and then like just like throwing it and being done with it. That's not really what I desire to have. I want more sustainability. So yes. All right, well, that's it, you guys. Should I put that down? I don't know how this is. All right, that's it. Love you guys. Bye.